Hmm.
being in the city and then stumbling. Do you hear that?
No. Hi everyone, I'm Sammy,
Hey everybody, I'm Lindsay.
and welcome to everybody's favorite BL podcast,
Yeah,
BL Buddies.
buddies. We're finally doing something that we should have done 3 months ago.
Yeah,
What is it?
we're talking about Korea.
Yay!
Finally.
I mean, we've talked in
Finally.
bits and pieces
Yeah.
about Jun and John and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but we really haven't gone over our full. And then we're gonna
Experience.
do another episode specifically on our BL
Mm-hmm.
travel day.
Yes, our
Oh,
BL day.
yeah.
Where should we
So that
start?
Well, it was my second flight ever in my life. My first flight was to Germany, which was 8 hours. This flight
Mm-hmm.
was 15 hours.
15.
Shockingly enough, I, unlike Sammy, do not have any problem flying.
Yeah. I was okay on that. I was on
You
okay
were
for the most
pretty good.
part for both flights. I
Coming
was
home, I was surprised you didn't lose your marbles when we hit all that turbulence. Because
I
you were
felt
in the
like
bathroom when
I
we hit it
felt
real hard.
Oh, I was gonna say I felt like we had more turbulence on the way there.
Oh, I don't remember that much turbulence.
The only so that was the thing about the we took what I don't know how to pronounce it. It's either
Asiana.
Asiana
I
or Asiana. I
It's
don't know.
Asiana because
Okay,
my Korean dentist told me that.
okay.
Because they
So
were like, "What are you flying?" I'm like, "Asiana." She's like, "Asiana." I'm like,
yeah,
"Yes."
so we were flying with them, and literally any hint of turbulence, they made an announcement about it.
Hmm.
They
They
like
did.
they were like, "We're experiencing turbulence. Please stay seated." And it was like a little bump. And I was like, "Okay, like that's a little much." But if it was like super turbulent, I could
Hmm.
understand. It really wasn't that turbulent.
I think you were so exhausted on the way home. I think you were knocked out when we hit the really bad
I
turbulence.
must have been
It
because
was shaky.
I don't remember that
That was
much
like, I'm
turbulence.
looking at you, and your mom looked at you, and you were like, and we were both like,
Yeah, I'm just dead.
you were knocked
The Dramamine kicked in. There you go.
because we
Yeah,
both
because
went.
yeah,
Oh,
no, I don't remember much turbulence on the way back.
that's good.
What I do
Um,
remember though on the way there was how hot
oh my
effing
God.
plane was.
It wasn't that bad on the way back, but
And
it's
here's my I think I figured it out. I think I figured
what
out why. Because
what
on the way there, we
yeah.
never left the sun. So
On the
we
way
were just
home, we were always in the darks too.
exactly. So for 15
Hmm.
hours, we had the sun beating down on the plane.
And
And
there was no
that's
vents
why
in
it was
class
so hot. Yeah, that was insane.
because that was the biggest thing. Everyone's like, it's always so cold on the plane. Make sure you have like a coat and a sweatshirt. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I have to take it all off.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm very much, I think I had this, speaking of,
Yeah.
I think I had this sweater on and I was like, I had nothing on under it. And I was like, I am ready to get naked. It
But
was so
people were
hot.
wearing coats with the blankets wrapped around them.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest shock to me being in Korea. It was like 60 degrees and people had sweatshirts, puffer
Mm-hmm.
coats, scarves, and hats on. And
And
I'm in
all the
a denim
buildings
jacket and what?
and all the buildings
And
were
all the
like
buildings
pumping heat, even though
pumping
it
heat.
was like
The subway
warm
was
outside.
pumping heat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you guys have the same weather as us. Like, what do you do in like the like 20s and 10s? Because
Yeah.
you were bundled in the 60s, and I'm like, this is great. I
Yeah.
mean, we were getting like nauseous in the subway at some points. Like
Oh
on
my
that
God.
one
Yeah. It was
train,
so
it
hot.
was so hot, and people were like this, and I'm like, how are you so
Yeah.
cold?
You know what was, it was
I'm
very,
also weird, even in America. Like
yeah.
me and you are always running hot. So
Yeah, but it was chilly. It was chilly in the mornings and at
yes,
night. So like you
yes,
needed a light jacket, I would
yes,
say, but then
but
like
not a puffer coat.
no.
People are like,
And
it
then by
was.
11 noon, you were ripping that
Mhm.
thing off because it was so warm.
Mhm.
It was so hot. And I think we
I'm
might
actually
have been
happy I
there
did not bring my winter coat
and I
because
brought mine just in
you
case and
did.
it was like I did not need this. This was wasted
Yeah.
space. But I think for even them, it might have been unseasonably hot. I
I
don't
mean,
even
the gentleman we met in Busan said, because people were on the beach in Busan in the middle of
Mhm.
October, and
Yeah.
he even said it was unseasonably warm,
Yeah. Yeah, and I
which was
think, like
nice.
and because,
Okay.
like, I remember when we were in Busan,
Mhm.
and I think was it my mom asked my friend's mom, like, what the
Mhm.
weather was like or the water temperature, and she
Uh-huh.
was like, "Oh, it's so cold, it's so cold."
And
And
you
we were
guys
like, I coulda ran into this. It was so warm. It was like, no lie, the water was in the 70s. It was like
yeah,
I was like,
it was
what is
like
can I just" I was
like,
like,
I was sitting there with all of our stuff, and I
Mhm.
was sweating sitting on the
Yeah.
sand.
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like, even, like yeah, we met a really awesome Busan gentleman who
Yeah.
was, practicing his English with us, and he was
Yeah.
doing extremely well.
Yes.
Um, and he was telling us that it was very unseasonably warm there, so
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
funny, my dentist was just I just saw them because I thought I had a cavity. And I was like, "Guess where I was?" And he's like, "Where were you in Seoul?" And he's like, "Oh, we wanna go in March." And I'm like, "Ooh,
Yeah, I think it's cold in March.
airplane." No,
Yeah.
airplane tickets because of the cherry blossom season,
Oh
March,
god.
April.
Yeah, no, that's
Mhm.
probably
He's like, "Yeah,
stupid
it's like
expensive.
1,700." And I was like,
I th I mean, we paid around that, but we had
"Did we?"
special seats.
Oh, yeah, we had
We had the
the
extra room and stuff.
yeah, an economy, the
Mhm.
economy plus or something.
It was something weird. They had
I've
their
been
own, like, name for it. But I think I one of my favorite days was our BL day,
yes.
for sure. That was
Except for when I
probably
had the anxiety.
I mean, to be fair, like, that saved us, time and energy because we were both so fucking
Yeah,
exhausted.
we went from Itaewon to Gangnam to wherever the
Oh
hell
god,
we ended up in the
we were,
boonies
like
somewhere.
I tried to make a circle of, like, all the
Yeah.
stops that we were going
Yep.
to, and this one stop, I specifically, like, was like, "Oh, we have to go here," because
Was it the
it
semantic
was the
error kiss?
semantic
The
error
bar?
kiss.
But that's not where it was taking
And
us.
for some reason, we're like getting onto this subway, like we're waiting for the
Yeah.
train to arrive, and I'm like looking, I'm like, this is not right. I don't know where it's taking us. And she was just like, "Can we go back?" Like she's like, "I don't." She's like, she just kind of
I
went,
was
"I
gonna faint.
don't." She was like, "I feel like I'm gonna faint. I'm gonna pass out." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can go back. Let's just go up and out and grab a cab." Um, and no lie, we get in this cab. I put it into the cacao or
Mhm.
what was it? The taxi whatever app
Yeah, which saved us a lot.
saved us a lot.
Saved
It
us.
was literally a
Like 12 minutes
10-minute drive
from to
from
ET1.
where
Like
we
we
were, and we were like, "What the how? What?" We
yeah.
that
And then we
was
got back to the Airbnb, we both just laid in bed, and we were both like, "We're gonna take a nap."
yeah. Yeah, we were exhausted. And we
Exhausted.
I think we, like, took, like, an hour or so nap, and then we had to be back out to go meet, my
Your
mom and
mom and
Terry,
Terry, yeah.
which that river it's a very
Oh, yes.
famous stream that I'm
In
not
the
gonna
middle
say it
of
right, Cheongdam something.
mm,
Um, just started a new K-drama called Marry My Husband,
mm,
and the 2 of them are, like, running like, the guy's trying to catch up with her, and he
yeah,
grabs and it's on that river, and it had that, like, that big weird art shell
yeah.
thing, remember that? That's, like, in the background, and I'm like, "Oh my god, we were there, I know
You're
that
like, "Oh."
place." I was like, "I know that."
We spent a lot of time there. Where were we
We
where was that?
did. There was a
We spent
lot
a
of because that's where the
time
palace was,
that's where the gigantic,
the bookstore, that really big bookstore.
that was underground, right? Not the one that was massive,
Yes. Yeah,
massive.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the
no, the
underground one.
understore one. Yeah, not the
Uh,
coex, not the
what was
Starfield
the
one.
what was the where did we go that was 7 floors? Daiso.
Oh,
We did
Daiso.
the
No, that
crazy
was in
Daiso.
yeah, that was in Myeongdong. Yeah,
Well, we
the
spent a lot of
Daiso.
time in Myeongdong too, though.
We did spend a lot of time in Myeongdong because we
Yeah.
were waiting for my mom and Terry to
The
get their
nails.
nails done. So,
Yeah.
like, we just cruised around and walked around and found some cool
Can
places.
I say the weirdest thing that I discovered was McDonald's patties were this big.
Yeah.
Even
McDonald's
but
was not I'm sorry, I did not enjoy
yeah, we did it.
we
We
did
did
it.
we did a
I
different we yeah.
I tried we did the lotte. We did the lotte burgers too.
Yeah, that was also this big. I had fried mozzarella on mine. My
Oh
fried
no, the
mozzarella was this
mozzarella was
big,
bigger than the burger.
and then my burger was this big.
I know. I know. We had the yeah, that was
Remember I bit
bizarre.
into it and I went, "I lied
Yeah.
to you."
Yeah. No, it was a very that part where it was like I was like biting in. I'm like, I almost
Some
wanted to take it
Smollsburg.
apart and be like, "Is there a burger in here, or is it
Is
just a
there
mozzarella cheese?" That was yeah, I remember
Um,
that.
I will say if when we go back,
Mhm.
just get a hotel.
Yes.
Our
Airbnb
Airbnb
is not
definitely
worth it.
used wide lens because the
Oh
pictures
my
of that
god.
place looked way bigger than it was. Um, I think the most shocking thing to me was the bathroom had no like separate drain for the shower, that the whole bathroom was
Yeah,
the
that it was
drain for the
mhm.
shower.
That honestly, the bathroom was one of the biggest rooms.
It was, shockingly enough, the
Like,
bathroom
it
was
was
had the most
one of
room.
the biggest rooms in that
Yes, that is
place.
true.
I was like, I and the one thing that we, like, picked it for was the rooftop. We used
And
it,
it
what,
was
once? We sat
yeah,
out there once.
because your mom looked like she was gonna have a heart attack going up and down those
Oh, yeah,
steps.
well,
They were
those stairs were
yeah,
sketch, but
yeah,
also, that was another thing we didn't expect when we rolled up to it, were
yeah,
these steep-ass cement stairs, and we
that
all of
we were
us,
like,
with our massive
"No."
suitcases, just went, "Oh, fuck."
I
We're like,
still can't believe we got them down the stairs in that rainstorm,
so much
and none of us
easier than
fell.
carrying them up, considering you fell carrying it up. Like, I was just like, "What the hell?" Like, oh my god, I
We
think
should
you know
have
what?
recorded that,
I know, right? It could have probably just been physical exhaustion of, like, we were just
probably.
on a plane for 15 hours and then
And
waiting for Terry for, like, close to an hour and then
so
hopping
we were
in a
in
cab.
one terminal in Ichiwan Airport?
Ichon, Incheon,
Incheon
yeah.
Incheon Airport, and Terry was in the other side. So if you
Didn't
know
know
how
that was
big
a
that
thing.
airport is, it's massive. She had to take a shuttle to get to us, and it took her like an hour to get to us.
Mhm.
And then we had to get a van. Thank God a van came because we had so many suitcases.
Yeah.
Because on the way home, we had two taxis, and I thought that taxi driver was going to kill us, and he overcharged us. He almost got into like two accidents. Yes, it
Yeah.
was not fun.
Yeah, I was not in that cab, and I just
No.
so Lindsay is very, very chill when it comes to anything and, like, whatnot. This girl hit me in the text messages because I was like, we my mom and I were in a cab, her and Terry were in a cab, and I send a message like, "Hey, where are you? Like, we're in the whatever." And she just goes, "I don't know. He just dropped us off at this place." And I said, "Okay, like, um,
I
try
think
and
my
look."
face was thunderous.
Yeah, so, like, I was like, "Try and look for anything that says, like, lobby, and I'll try and find this atrium thing." And she hit me with the K. And I'm like, "Oh, no, she's mad." And I'm like, "Oh god, what did I do?" Like, I thought I did something. I was like, "What
Mhm.
the hell?" And then all of a sudden she comes, I see her and her face is just pure rage. And I'm like, "I've never seen Lindsay this angry ever in the, like, almost 10 years, 12 years we've been friends." And I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I can't believe it." And she's just, like, telling me about how this driver was just, like, he
He almost
upcharged
rear-ended
them.
somebody, like, I
Yeah.
thought I was going to
He,
die.
like, upcharged them for, like, driving through these certain places and,
Yeah,
like,
he was
whatever.
speeding, like, he
Yeah.
just didn't wanna deal with us.
Yeah, and, like, I had
Uh,
told so he arrived and, like, he got
yes.
to the hotel or he got to our Airbnb, and he saw all our suitcases and kept, like, arguing with me, like, "I can't fit these, I can't fit these, I can't
Yeah,
fit
and
these."
we were like, it's
And I said,
fine."
"Okay, fine, like, then leave, I'll cancel this trip and I'll get a new one." He refused to do that. And just, like, kept trying to fit these suitcases into his, like,
Yeah,
thing, and he finally gets them in, and he, like, is angrily, like, gets in the car and drives away, and
and
I could
he
s
realized that Terry and I didn't speak Korean, like, as well as she did, so
yeah.
he took advantage of it.
Yeah, because
Did not
then
take us to the hotel, he took us to the
nope.
side casino that the even, like, the poor busboy, like, had the bellboy had no idea what the fuck to do, like, it
Yeah,
was and then I'm like, "Can I have my receipt?" And he's like, "Sure," and he points to the car, so I go in the driver's side to grab it, he starts yelling at me. He kinda I think he gave me the finger, and he said something about, like, "Stupid American," and I'm like, "You literally pointed, and I thought I could grab it."
yeah.
I was I kind of
Ugh.
still feel rage because he was a super dick.
Yeah, and then, like, our taxi driver was super nice, and, like, he was the chillest guy, and he was like, he had to drive around twice to find, like, the actual entrance and whatnot,
Oh,
and
nice
we
for
s
him.
and we still paid less than Lindsay had to pay for their
You paid like
cab.
10,000 won less.
Yeah.
I asked you how much you paid, and you told me, and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me."
I was like, "Gee, oh my god." I was like, I was pissed. I wonder if I probably could have, like, reported him or something. I didn't even
Probably,
think about it.
because he definitely upcharged me, I think, 7,000 won because Terry watched him do it, and
Yeah.
she was watching him count on his fingers, and then she told me afterwards, and I was just like, "You know what? We're going to the spa."
Yeah. And that spa was great.
The
That
spa was
spa
great,
was unreal. That whole place, like, that was a
except for dinner,
oh god,
but
dinner was a
everything else was great.
nightmare. Dinner was a nightmare.
If
That
you guys
was
ever stay at Paradise City, make sure you book your restaurant arrangements like 5 months in
well
advance.
in advance. Like, and no
Yeah.
one gave us any kind of like I didn't get
No, we were staying
anything
in
of
a
that.
suite, a very expensive suite, and
And
no
like
one
no, it
cared.
wasn't in any of like the
No
in any of the stuff they sent me
paperwork.
that I needed to make a reservation for these, like it was required or whatever. Because like we walked up to them and they were like, "No, sorry, we're booked." I'm like, "You don't have any walk-ins?" And they're like, "No, you need to make a
Mm-mm,
reservation." It
all of
was
them.
all
Although
of
the
them.
food that we got at that whatever it
Oh, it was
was really
delicious.
good.
It was
And
really
it was the
good.
same food as the
Mhm. As the
and oh yeah,
Italian
that's crazy.
place.
So no, no, as room service.
Oh, yeah, and it was cheaper.
So we thought we had a credit for food and stuff. So Sammy's like, cool, we'll get room service because we had dressed up and none of the places were taking walk-ins. And then they're like, no, you can't use the credit for room service. It has to be used, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
I still don't
It could
understand why we
only
can't.
yeah. It could only be used at, like, 3 restaurants.
And thankfully, the one we got to, we sat right away and we
Yeah,
ate really delicious food.
it was
And
very
it was
good.
the food that was room service and
Mhm.
cheaper. So
Yeah. So, we were totally fine with it. It was very
yeah.
good. Um,
I,
the one thing I'll say I was, like, upset about, and this was just, like, I think because of my anxiety of being,
yeah, your anxiety was
like
really bad.
was, like my anxiety of feeling like I needed to make sure we saw everything everybody wanted
Which
to
was
see.
we realize now is never gonna happen.
Yeah, was I did not get to eat as much as I wanted.
None of us did.
Yeah. I feel like well,
Your
here's the
anxiety was so bad, you couldn't eat. But then Terry and I realized that when we made you sit, that's when you ate.
yeah, probably. But I think the thing was, like, the other thing was that in I think in one of our group messages, or maybe just a separate message, Terry had said that she didn't really wanna go to a lot of cafes or
Oh,
something
I
like
I
that.
think it was like I think she said she didn't wanna go to a lot of the, like, I kept sending those forest cafes and those really, like, Instagrammable cafes,
I don't know,
and I
but she
guess she
basically
figured
I don't know, she basically was like, "I'm cool with one of them and whatnot," so I just kind of had in my head that, okay, we're not going to, like, these things,
mhm,
and so, like, I literally deleted them off of the map
mm,
because I was like, "Okay, I guess we're not doing these
mhm,
kinds of things," so, like, I just took them off, but
mhm.
then, like, under our time constraint and, like, other issues we had,
Yeah,
I couldn't fit everything in
yeah.
and have breaks for food.
Food. I think
Like,
the only day I got sick was the day we went to Seoul Tower, and we got ramen. Do you remember when we were in the ramen and I was shaking? That night we went to Seoul Tower, we didn't eat, like,
oh,
anything.
Namsan Tower.
Namsan Tower, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was like, "We didn't
I think
go"
and then
yeah.
we went back to the Airbnb, we went to go get ramen, and I think that
Yes.
was the only day that I really my hands were
Felt. Yeah, no, I
shaking.
remember that. I was like, "I'll go
Yeah.
get the food," like,
I
just yeah.
was like you're like I'm, like, putting it back and it fell and I'm like
Yeah, yeah, no, I remember that. I was like,
I
I
think
got
that's
it."
the only day I got hangry.
Yeah,
My
I was
body got used to not eating as much.
yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I felt like, yes, I'm bummed I didn't get to eat that much, but, like, I wasn't I guess,
I definitely was experiencing low blood sugar though.
oh, yeah, I think my thing was that I was just so
You were so anxious, your body
to
was
get
just not
everybody like I said,
yeah,
to get everybody to see everything that they wanted, it was like, "Okay,
yeah,
well, we have to be go, go, go," and,
yeah.
like and then the other thing was, like, no one ever told me to stop. because they were, like, hungry or anything.
Mm,
So I was just like, "Okay, I guess everybody's good." Like,
mhm,
I think, like, maybe once or twice somebody said, "Hey, like, I'm gonna go grab a drink," or, "Hey, I'm
mhm.
gonna go do this." Like, it was never like a, "Hey, let's sit down and eat," kinda thing, like,
Yeah, I think we were all
often.
just, like, trying to get stuff done and all, like, on that, like I think it was more so towards the end where I think I was exhausted
Mhm.
and I was ready to take breaks.
Yeah. No, I think I'm with
It was
you
a
on that.
lot of walking.
Yeah. No, it is, and that's another thing. If
Oh,
you if you are planning on
need some
going to
Stairmasters.
Korea, you need to get a step something, like a treadmill that has an insane incline on it. If you work in an office building, walk up them stairs, baby, because they
We
are
didn't
not.
believe people.
No, like, we always saw it and heard whatever, but, like,
Yeah.
they're not joking. They
No.
are not joking about
No.
the amount of, and, like, the other thing is, like, the stairs are not always normal. If by and
No.
by
They can
normal,
be
I
very
mean
steep, they can be very weirdly, like,
narrow.
close,
Yeah.
and
A
then, like, the subways, the amount of if, like, if an
Oh my god,
escalator's
this
not working in the subway, you're pretty much fucked.
yeah, no, the subways had,
We got
yeah.
lucky that escalators were working because I was really
Yeah.
afraid that Terry was gonna faint on us
Oh my
subways.
god, I know. The escalators were, we had a lot. I feel like a lot of the subway stations we went to, there was
Yeah,
escalators. But here's the
yeah,
thing, there was a lot of escalators going down to the sub, like,
down.
into, like, where you
Yeah,
catch the
not
train,
up.
but then
It
not
was like
up.
1.
It was
Yeah.
like, you once you got to a certain level, they were like, "Okay, you can do stairs now." And, like, it was stairs the rest of the way up to the street, and you're like, "Why? Just give us this other little escalator right here."
Going up,
Um,
please. That's
yeah.
why everyone's so fit and
Oh, I know. I mean,
scared.
that was crazy with all
And
the
and you
stairs.
have to make sure you stand to the right or people will take you out
Oh,
on the
yeah.
escalators
Yeah.
walking down them, and that's the same as in New York City.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
that's like a
people
thing. I
would
don't know if
bow
that's
over you.
everywhere, but, like, at least when we went there, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is the same
This
as
is normal.
New York or Jersey or whatever." But, also with the stairs, while some were, like, narrow, some were smaller, whatever, they were also, like, you could be walking down a singular staircase and you would have both.
Yes.
It would be like a super steep step down to, like, a narrow
Yep,
little, and you're like, "Oh my," your, like,
yep.
ankles are like, "Wait, what am I how do I take this
You're
step?"
like,
How
"I
do
can't run down these
Yeah.
stairs."
No,
Ugh.
that was very odd.
I think the other thing that was great was when we were looking for that building and we'd walk through the whole campus of the hospital where we could have went around the
Oh my
corner
god, yeah,
and
we were
found it.
going
Like, we
to,
walked up
Yonsei.
inclines.
Yonsei. We were like, so we went to the one school, I think it was
The one with the stairs that you
Yeah,
couldn't
the
go in, you
women's
weren't allowed
school.
to.
The women's school, and it literally had a sign that said, like, "Tourists not beyond this
Yeah,
point," whatever. So I'm like, "Okay." So then I Google map the next school, and it has this walking, or not Google's, because Google doesn't work there, but, like, the Naver
the cow
map or
map, yeah.
whatever, and I'm following what it is telling me to do, and we end up going some back road way through, like,
Up a lot of
up
hills.
these insane hills and steep stairs, and at one point, we all just went, I can't." And,
Yeah.
like, Terry was like, "Well, she really wanted to see this
And
particular
then she
school."
saw a piece of it and she went,
So then
"Oh."
we finally, like, we get to this one point, I'm like, "Yo, if it's not here, I'm turning around."
Yeah. It was bad. It was hot.
Oh my god, it was so ridiculous.
And then was that the
Finally,
day we went to John and John?
yeah, it was.
'Cause we were sweating bad.
Yes, mhm. And so we finally get up to this point, and like I said, like, I was like, "If it's not here, I'm out."
Yeah,
And sure enough, there it was. I was like,
yeah.
"Hey, is that what it is?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah." She goes, like, running to
We
this
turn
school.
around and there's the main entrance.
Yeah. I was like, and so then we turn around, and you could just walk down this straight thing to the subway, and I'm like, "What? Why did it take me this convoluted way to get here?" Oh, God. Oh my
You know, we
God,
were
that
walking
was,
places that I thought we were gonna get arrested for being, so I didn't
oh,
think
I
people
know.
were
It
allowed to
looked
be.
like you were walking in that like like in the security like
Yeah.
truck delivery area. Like it was so bizarre where we were
Oh,
walking.
I was so scared. I'm like, we're gonna get kicked out of Korea because we're so
I know,
we're not
because we
going to
just
because of Cacao Max.
we're trusting Cacao Maps. Um,
Oh, we found the
the
Harry Potter cafe. That was fun.
that was cool. Minus, I
Yeah.
felt so bad for those employees. Okay, there you
So
go.
yeah, I think because we got so lucky at the Jun Jun that we had to have some bad luck at the
Yeah,
Harry Potter. We
yeah.
ordered something, paid for it, and then
And then they
because
gave you like this thing, this like that
yeah,
rings like to tell
the
you your
brick,
food's
yeah, the
ready.
bricks,
So we go down to get the food and I
and it
hand the
was
kid the thing and he just goes, "Hold on." And like
yeah.
disappears.
And
And
the
then he
manager
like
comes
yeah,
out.
and then he like comes over and he's like trying to explain to us, but like he just wasn't making any sense. So
Yeah.
then he had this other woman come and explain, and she
And
was
then she
like,
started using the
so that she
translator.
started using Papa Go, and I'm like, I understand. I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I was like, but we'll just take the drinks and not the food because like we had planned on going to get food.
Yes.
And so she just kept saying, "We'll give you the food, like, we'll refund." And I'm just like, I just went, "Okay, we'll take
So
whatever."
we downed those fries.
Oh my God, yeah, no, we were hungry. And
We were
so,
like, we were
yeah,
shoving the food in our
yeah.
mouths.
And
And no
so
drinks. We didn't have the
no
drink.
drinks. But like at the same time, we were almost happy that they didn't give us the drinks because
Yeah.
Terry and my mom had said that they were alcoholic, but they were
Yeah.
very sugary and sweet and
Yeah.
thick. And I was
I
like, I
think we
can't,
would have got sick.
yeah, I was like, I can't eat and drink that much. I'm good. So it was all good. We tried
It was
theirs. We're like,
good.
okay, we tried yours. That's fine.
And we're like, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's cool though. It's 5 floors and they're themed
Yeah.
floors.
And
It
all the
was really
floors are
cool.
different. It was a very cool
Yeah.
building
Cafe.
in general. Like that was a very,
Um,
yeah.
we had
Um
really amazing pork barbecue in Etiwan.
that
So
barbecue
it
place
was
was
like we
so
saw like
good.
30 people in this place and we were like, you know what, we're gonna go here. Like all the locals are going here. It
Mhm.
was so good.
It was
It was the
so
cheapest
good.
meal we had.
Yeah,
It was not
probably.
that expensive.
No. I mean, the only thing that was
The beef
expensive
barbecue.
was the beef, and I wasn't even that mind blown by it. I
It
felt
was
like
good,
it was
but
good, but I felt like we probably could have gone somewhere else and like gotten
yeah,
more and
yeah,
like enjoyed it. But
yeah.
I think my favorite thing food wise was still the auto kimbap
Oh,
chicken.
that was
That
so good.
fried
That was our
chicken
first night there.
was
We
so
should have got more.
I know. I didn't think about it because it was like this place
We
is
didn't think
known
about
for
it.
its gimbap. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna we'll just get a small thing of this
And we were
chicken.
downing that
All of us
chicken.
were like, I mean, the kimbap's good, but this chicken, like the four of us are like
So
just
good. I don't know
shoveling
why
this
we didn't
chicken
go
into our
there
face.
again.
I know. I know. We should have just
It
ordered
literally
that
was not
chicken
that far
again.
from us.
No, it was around the block from our
No,
place, I
and we
think.
should have gone there because there's all those antique shops next to
Yeah, there
it.
was like, yeah, we didn't even get to go into those because it was like late when we would go past.
Yeah.
But
Can I also say that the taxi drivers are nuts and people are insane there.
not
I would
even
never
just
want to
taxi
drive in Korea.
drivers. I would
No, I would never
never
want to drive in
want to
Korea.
drive in Korea. Like, I'm not a BTS fan, but like when I remember Namjoon saying that he never got his driver's license, and I always went, "Oh,
Yeah.
come on, like get your drive. You should be
We
able to drive."
understand now.
And then I was like, "Oh,
We get it.
I get it. I get it," because
Like
I
I
was
was watching people whip
terrified.
like people were like where we stayed in our Airbnb, the roads around Itaewon were like narrow and
Mhm.
round, and I don't know
Mhm.
how people drove. Like, if I'd have to have a Fiat or a smart car to drive around
Yeah.
there and not be scared.
Yeah.
People were whipping around in like Mercedes and
Oh,
like
yeah. And,
Ferraris.
like, they were in these, like and, like, all of these roads, especially in, like, the Itaewon area, were
Yeah,
very much a
narrow.
one car length or width. And, like, a car would turn, see
Yeah,
that there was another car, and they would almost play
uh-huh.
chicken,
Yeah,
until one
Remember?
finally went, "Okay, I'll
Yep,
back out so
back
you can
down.
come through and
And
I
then
will then go."
was it when me and you went back to drop off our bags that the taxi driver was screaming at that old couple trying to get in the
Yes,
car?
he was, like,
He almost
honking.
hit them.
He was
He almost
honking,
hit
he
them,
was
and he
so
was screaming at
impatient.
them to get out of
Oh
the
my
road.
god, I remember that. Like,
And
we were going to drop our stuff off, and I was
because
like,
we had bought so much
"Bro,
shit
it's
at
okay.
Daiso.
It's okay." Oh my god, I remember that, yeah, he was just, like, so impatient, he
And
was
that's the other
honking at
crazy part is
everybody.
people would not move out of the way. I'm like, "You're gonna get hit by a car."
Nope, they did
No,
not
you know what was
care.
crazy too? Watching them make U-turns on main roads because it's not
Yeah,
illegal there. They were
and
just
it's
in
a
the middle
they have
of a four-way lane, and they were just like,
bro, and they have, like, lanes to do that. I was like, "Bruh, I totally 1000% understand why you wouldn't wanna get your license
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
1000%." Because I was
Oh,
like, there were rules, but did the drivers follow them?
no,
I don't feel like they did.
no.
Like,
Remember we were standing, we were going to, what is that beauty place that we went to the first night in Itaewon? Peach no, what is that beauty place we went to?
Olive
Like, that
Garden?
first night?
Olive Young?
Olive Young. But
Oh,
remember
yeah.
we were walking out back to go back and to the Airbnb, and we watched an ambulance or a fire engine come, and nobody was moving out of the way.
Oh, yeah. Like, they're like, "Where do you want us to go?" And
I'm
it's
like
like, "Oh,
I'm like
wait,
I'm like, if you're s I'm like, I have been on narrow roads in America, and I've had to get my ass, like, onto dirt to
yeah,
try and get out of the way.
yeah." Dude, that was yeah,
No,
it was crazy.
what the hell? Where am I?
Uh-huh.
Yes,
That
when
was
people talk about taxis being crazy, they are crazy.
yeah.
I mean, they
If I
were
thought New York taxi drivers were insane, no, Korea
nah,
outdoes them
nah,
by a mile.
mile.
And I will
Terrifying.
say, they were cheap.
They were cheap.
They were so
People
cheap
and you know
for the
what's so funny is people
distances
were
we
saying
went.
they were expensive, so I was expecting them to be expensive.
I was
When you're
too.
used to New York and Philly taxes, they are nothing.
Yeah, like, I think we our taxi from the airport to our Airbnb, which was over an hour's drive,
Mm,
was $70, like,
yeah,
US dollars.
yeah,
That's
that's nothing.
nothing. If that was New York,
It'd be
it
like
would be well
$200.
into the hundreds. Like, there is no way. The absolute and then we took another how when we were going to my friend's house, that was
Yes, we
another
took
over an
it
hour
was definitely
drive.
which was one of my favorite parts.
Oh my
Your
god,
friend's parents, shout
that
out
was
to them because
yes,
they
yes.
were
That was
so amazing.
that was such an amazing
Oh my
night
god, we stunned, your friend's mom when we told her how much money we pay for
for
weddings. She
weddings
was like,
and
"Eh?"
yeah,
She was like,
she
"What?"
was like, "What?" And then she was like, "Well, the husband pays for that, right?" And we're like, "No, like, sometimes
"The
it's, like,
husband pays for the
split
house, right?"
or" and we're like, "No, usually it's, like, a split." And she's like, "What?" Like, literally all of them were just like, "What? Why?" We're like, "I
And then
don't
we told them how much American weddings are, and they were like,
oh my god. They were
"What?"
like, "What?" Their minds were
Especially here on the East
blown.
Coast,
Oh,
weddings
yeah.
are very opulent. My wedding was
Yeah,
in a mansion.
Northeast, we yeah,
We
we
go
go
hard.
hard.
I had a labyrinth wedding. If you know what Jim Henson's
Yeah,
labyrinth is,
yeah,
it was in the mid
exactly.
but we both had winter weddings, so they were cheaper
Yeah, yeah,
than
it's
normal.
true. It's true. Yeah. If it was
You
any
guys wanna
other
get married in the
time,
if you wanna get married in the tri-state area, get married in the winter. If you
yes,
want an opulent
absolutely.
wedding.
Mhm. Yeah, that was but yeah, it was funny because and then they were explaining, we talked about, like, obviously the different cultural differences, and they were talking about how
The gifts were actually to
the
the
yeah,
parents,
the gifts that people give the
went
couple
towards
went
paying
towards the
for
parents to pay for the wedding,
wedding.
and they would invite, like, hundreds of
I think she
people.
said she had 500 people,
Yeah, 4 or 500 people at her
and, like,
wedding.
none of them were, like, their friends, it was, like,
Mm-mm.
family
Yep,
and
and, like
business associates and
mhm, which I was like, "Oh,
crazy.
wow, oh my gosh."
But that was such a great night.
That was so
I
much fun.
kinda wish we could have got back together with them somewhere
I
else
know. Well, hopefully, next time.
next time,
But basically what
and
happened
then
was we my mom had, like, 3 things on her list,
Oh, the
And
botanical garden being
oh,
closed.
wait, four. Sorry, four things, and two of them we could not even do. So the first one, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for my mom. She wanted to see a Korean baseball game.
Ugh,
And there was games literally the
yeah,
weekend we got there.
yeah,
Sure enough, they happened to be the biggest games of the season, and
mhm,
we could not get tickets.
yep,
So that was out. Then she wanted to go to the Seoul Botanical Garden. We got on the train. It was an
went
hour
there,
train ride. We
mhm,
get there only for
taking
them
pictures
to
outside.
tell us, yeah, only for them to tell us that it is closed because of the holiday
That
that
was the day
was
before.
yesterday.
Yes.
And I will say,
I'm
Korean
happy we weren't the
apps,
only people there.
no, we
There were
weren't.
actually Korean people
Yeah.
who
The
didn't even know
Korean
that it was
apps,
closed.
they're usually like on point with like things being like, hey,
Mhm,
this is closed. It
mhm.
did not say that.
It
And
did
then a
after we
and
went.
then a couple hours later, we went to check again, and it then said that they were closed. And I was like,
Yeah,
"You sons of bitches." But so 2 of the 4 things my mom wanted to do, we didn't get to do. The other 2 was, 1, she wanted a cooking lesson, and the second was she wanted to go to the DMZ. So, she had sent me a link to this cooking lesson. Girl was booked for that entire thing. I tried and
mhm,
find other ones and could not find any that were like actual cooking. They were either like making kimchi or makgeolli or something. It wasn't like a whole meal.
mhm,
So I asked my friend, I was like, "Hey, do you know anyone or like do you have any like cooking lessons, like places that you know that speak English so that my mom could do them like so we could do them?" And she's like, let me look, blah blah blah." So she comes back maybe the next day and goes, "I don't really know any, but my mom offered her house and she'll teach you if there's like specific things you want to make."
mhm,
And I was like, "For real?" And she's like, "Yeah, like what is it that you wanna make?" And so I asked my mom if there was like anything specific, and she was like, "Well, like she loves her bibimbap
mhm,
and kimbap." And so I was like, "Oh, well, like my mom really wants to learn how to like make bibimbap and kimbap." She's like, "Oh, those are easy. Yeah, sure." So we planned it. We went out to her
mhm,
parents' house. So it was her, her parents, and her
and her
sister,
sister.
and then the 4 of us. They
Mhm.
set up this whole table with, like, the cooking, like,
They brought out their camping
their
stoves.
camping stoves,
Yeah,
and, literally showed us how to, like, fry up all the veggies, fry up all
mhm.
the meats,
How to
everything,
correctly make it.
how to correctly make it, how to roll the kimbap,
Yeah,
and everything
it
like
was
that.
it was a great
Oh
night.
my god, it was so much fun. It
We
was
had so
great.
much fun.
And then, we finished that and then she showed us how to make twigum, which is just like fried. It's usually like just fry a lot of different fried things, but they did
Mm,
specifically like fried vegetables. Oh my god, it was
so good.
so good. And like I don't
And
think
then
we
we just
left
sat down
until
and
like
ate.
yeah. I don't think we left until like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
It was
And it was her
late
parents going, they kind of need to leave now because we need to go somewhere. Like they had
somewhere,
other plans
like a family
after 11 o'clock at night. I was like,
yeah,
damn fam. I'm like, I can't even hang like that. Holy shit.
that I think was a shocking thing too, was we got up at like 7:30 one day and ET1 still had people drunk and drunk
Hmm.
on the roads. I was like, I cannot hang with you.
No. I am not I like the club thing is
I'm
not.
still drinking.
Yeah,
It's 7:30 in the
I think
morning.
that's one thing I lack of, like, the Korean, like, culture thing is to go out and drink all
I
night.
mean,
I
I don't
can't.
even here in America, I didn't do it even when I was
I know,
20.
I never did it in college. I think I did it once in my entire life,
I
and
think I did it my 21st birthday and I had strep throat and my brother made me go.
yeah, like,
Got rid of my strep throat.
yeah, I was
Original.
never a big drinker, so, like,
Yeah.
I think we maybe had a drink while we were there. We
We
tried
didn't
their
go to the wine
wine.
bar. I'm sad we didn't go to the
I
wine bar.
know. I know, the wine bar. So, yeah, that was another thing about our Airbnb was they forgot to mention that right below us was a wine bar that was
And
open
you
till, like midnight, 1
And then
a.m.
2 a.m. on the weekend.
So we were
Yeah.
just here at this, and like, it wasn't
It wasn't
loud.
it wasn't super loud,
It
but it was
wasn't
just
like
like
you would just hear
shocking.
the noise when you're
Yeah.
trying to sleep because, like I said, we can't hang, and we wanted to go to
Mhm.
bed at like 10
Mhm.
o'clock,
Yeah.
11 o'clock at night most nights. So it was like rough.
Shocking too was they don't do really breakfast.
No, they're not a breakfast. They're
No.
not a. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't do coffee for breakfast.
No. They do it like
Coffee
in
is
like
an
the
afternoon
afternoon.
night thing. And so my mom's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Where am I gonna get my coffee
Well, we
in the
had a Paris
morning?"
baguette.
And we found a Paris baguette, but sure enough, the Airbnb had left us
Oh,
instant coffee, and so
yep.
my mom made Cuban coffee with it.
Mhm.
Um a cheap version of Cuban coffee, but basically it was coffee, like instant coffee in milk, and then a fuck ton of condensed milk, and it was
Mhm.
just like this sweet sugar whatever, and so my mom and I were chugging that like every morning, and yeah, that was, yeah, they didn't really, and what, I'm not a breakfast person, so like but coffee is a morning thing for me.
Coffee
Like
is important.
I do
That's
need
because that's just how
coffee.
we are in
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, so, like, it
We
was
have to have
that
our
was
coffee.
funny that, like, there wasn't really anything, like, even the Starbucks, some of the Starbucks didn't really open until, like, 8, 9 o'clock,
8,
and you're
9
like,
o'clock. I'm like, "Geez, I'm used to getting, like, McDonald's breakfast at 5:30 in the morning here on my way to work."
exactly, exactly, so, alright, um,
Hello,
but
Gremlin.
oh, kitty, kitty.
The palace, the Hanbok was fun. Palace was fun.
For
It was super
you guys, I loved you
well
guys in it. I was
well,
not having a day that I was have
we
you know what it
you
was?
got your period.
I literally was getting my period,
It was
sorry,
hot as
TMI.
balls.
So I was getting my
So
period,
hot that day too.
and at that point, I think my social battery was negative.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the
We all were
negative.
negative.
I was like, "I can't be around people anymore." And so I looked at my mom and I said, "Mom, I wanna go home." She's like, "What do you mean?"
Ugh.
And I'm like, I'm gonna walk away." It's like,
And
give
then
me
we
some
were looking for
time."
you because we were freaking out. We were
I
like,
know.
"Oh my god."
I was like, "Give me some
And then
time,
you left,
mom."
and literally 20 minutes later, we were like, "It's too hot. We can't do this."
Yeah. So I was like, "Mom, I'm not." I was like, "I not I it's nothing to do with you guys. I just need to be not around people." And so I walked away, and then I found you guys again, and you were like, "Hey, we're gonna go to that what was
Oh,
it?
yeah, we wanted yeah, which did not
The
work.
village
Terry
to
almost fainted.
yeah, so, like, they were going to this other place, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go." And I literally started walking and went, "Nope, I'm not." And I was like, "Okay, I'm going, bye." So I got out of the Hamburg and I went, I caught a train, and on the train, I was like, "You know what? I don't wanna be I don't wanna just go back to the Airbnb kinda thing." Like, I was like, "Let me do something that's on my list, but it's on nobody else's." Like, no one else would
Mm,
care to see this thing that I wanted.
mhm.
And sure enough, there was a bookstore on the way, literally the next stop on the train. And I was like, "Well, that's where I'm going." So I got off the train, walked into this bookstore, and it was a really cool bookstore. I took a bunch of
Mhm.
pictures of my books in it, hopped back on the train, and I'm walking around Itaewon, and I get a text from you saying that you guys are coming back. And I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool." So I like literally walked back to the apartment at that point, and we met back up, and that's when we went to Busan, right? That was the night we went to
Mm,
Busan.
no, I thought that was the night after. Or was that the night we went to
No, I
Busan?
think that's the night we went to
No,
Busan.
we went on the train.
Yeah.
There were no zombies,
There were
guys.
no
Don't
zombies,
ask us. There was
so
no zombies. But it was a
no
very
threat.
beautiful train ride.
It was. It was a
We
very
just wish we
pretty.
would have got the food on.
Yeah. We
We
just
were
didn't
just, like,
have the
so
time.
exhausted.
We didn't have the time because we didn't know how, like, the
Yeah.
craziness of the trains.
Yeah, because we bought our tickets last minute
Mhm.
because we weren't sitting
And none
together.
of us sat next to each other.
Yes. I
Uh,
somehow got lucky and had nobody sitting next to me. Carrie had a very attractive young dude sitting next to her, and I was like she's like,
I had a
"Oh."
kid I had a young girl who was, like, working on her resume. I, like, saw her working, and my mom's like, "Talk to her, see if you can, like, whatever," and I was like, "I'm not gonna do that, mom, that's weird." Um, and then, she got off, and then this kid, I wanna say he was in the military, but I don't know what branch, but
Mm,
he was wearing a uniform, he sat next to me, and he was on the trip for a little while, and then no one sat next to me, and no one was sat next to my mom, so my mom ended up moving up to sit next to me,
mm,
and they had, like, a thing where they, like, checked it. So, like, she had moved, and they were like they came over, and they're like, "You're not supposed to sit here." Like, they knew she was not sitting in the right seat, and she's
that's
like, "Oh,
crazy.
well, like, this is the last like, Busan was, like, the next stop." She's like, "Yeah, well, I just wanted to sit with my daughter, like, no one was sitting here, blah, 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 blah." And the woman's like, "Okay, can I see your tickets?" So we showed her our tickets, and she had to input that she was sitting in that seat.
That is crazy.
I was like, "Damn, okay."
Crazy
I was like,
efficiency.
that was cool. And Busan, that hotel
Oh,
was
you can see
so
the water.
nice. That hotel was so nice and so cheap that I was like,
Uh,
if this is what they would have been like in Seoul, we should have done a freaking
yep.
hotel in Seoul, and I
And
stand by
I
that.
think the only thing that drove me crazy about the Airbnb was we were so happy there was a washer, but it was
Mm,
so humid, nothing was dry.
nothing dried. Nothing dried.
Our towels, like, stunk by the end,
Oh yeah.
and we washed them, like, 100 times, like,
Yeah.
because nothing it was so humid, even with the air conditioner on,
Mhm.
so humid, nothing was drying.
No, we had that AC running the entire
Yeah,
time, and it
and, like, never
never
dried.
dried. Yeah.
So that's why I didn't pack as much as I thought I was, because it was like, "Washer," and I was like, "Great, we'll just, wash and hang dry," and I was like, "Should've stayed at a hotel, we coulda had nice towels."
Yeah. No, it's true. It's so
That is
true.
something we recommend. Check prices of hotels because 'cause they're actually cheaper than some
Yeah,
of the
they
Airbnb,
probably are cheaper than a lot of these Airbnbs, and, like,
and you definitely get more.
I think our thing was that our logic of it was that we would eat there.
Yeah, and
We
we
never
never
ate
did.
there. We
No.
had, like, 2 meals there.
Yeah,
The night we landed and that one night where we got back super late.
yeah, that was
Out
the
of
one we went
12
to Nam
days,
Tower.
we literally only ate there twice.
Yeah.
Not worth it, just stay in a freaking hotel. And you could
Nam
also get
Tower was
food in
yeah,
the hotels and
in the
stuff, so
hotel. Nam Tower was really cool,
oh
so
my
make
god,
sure you do that when you're there. We didn't go up into the tower because
no.
Sammy's mom almost had a heart attack just going up
Oh my
the
god.
bodega. I
Oh
have
my
a
god.
video of us going up and all you hear and behind me,
The
"Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god."
No, not
I
even
thought your
that.
mom was going to panic.
Oh, no, she did. She had a full-on panic
I
attack.
thought she was gonna be, like, on the ground. I was waiting
Oh,
for
she
her to
was
just
I had
go.
to hold her up.
Did you? I
Oh
so
my
I was
god,
my
I was
face was, like,
holding
pressed to the
her. So
glass.
my mom hates heights, and I know this, and I told her that this was we're going on a gondola,
Yeah,
it's gonna go up, and then we're gonna be up a height, and she
yeah,
was like, "Well, I wanna do it because, it's a once in a lifetime thing, kind
yeah.
whatever." The second this gondola left the station, and she has a video, and
I I did too.
it's hilarious because you can hear her saying to keep me filming it going up and just her going, "Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit." Ah," and then you
And then
just
you
hear the
I think in the background you hear, "I'm gonna have to watch this later."
yeah, you hear just this pure panic in this woman's voice, and she starts crying, and I ask her, "Are
Oh,
you laughing or are you crying?" And she's like
she goes, "I don't
she goes,
know."
"I don't know." And I'm just, like, holding her, and I'm, like, keeping like, I think Terry had, like, a folder or something, so she was, like, keeping the folder in one
Uh-huh.
area where I was, like, covering her
And then I
eyes the
think
other
I was standing in front of your mom too,
yeah, and I'm just, like,
because I was at the
holding yeah, so I was just, like, holding her and, like, she's just panicking this entire time,
uh,
and I'm like, "Mom, look," like, I'm like, "We're almost there, we're almost there." We were not almost there. "We're
no.
almost there, we're almost there, we're almost
That
there."
was the longest ride
It
ever,
was
I think,
very
because your mom
long.
was panicking.
Yeah, and it's like, "We're almost there, we're almost there." Finally, we start to, like, see, like, us meeting the trees, and I'm like,
Mhm,
"Okay, mom, we are almost there, we are almost there." And I look up, and I could see that we were close to the disembarking,
mhm.
and I'm like, "Don't it's okay." She's like, "How does the video look?" I'm like, "Mom, I'm not concerned about this fucking video right now." I'm like I'm like, are you about to freaking have a heart attack on me right now? And finally,
Oh
we
man.
get up there. She's like, okay, you can stop recording. I'm like, okay, mom, I'm not worried about this friggin' video. So I shut the video off. We get up there and like we get to the height, and it's like, it's a stunning view of
Yeah,
Seoul.
I
Like,
have
it's,
it's crazy. I didn't realize how big Seoul was until you're up there and you
yeah,
see the lights.
yeah,
But then it's crazier seeing the darkness past the city.
beyond it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was I wish we would have went up, but I was not doing that to your
Yeah.
mom.
No. Oh my God. She would die. She would
Yes.
absolutely die. We
She
could,
almost died just looking at the city line.
yeah, exactly. I'll risk it with you next time because
Okay,
I
we'll do
probably
it
won't
next
be
time.
a huge fan of it either, but I will do it. Um, but I think the another cool thing that we did was we went. I'm not. Neither of us are real like museum people.
Oh no, that was
Um,
really cool.
but this we went to this like his. I think it was like the Seoul Museum or some Museum
I
of
think
Seoul or
so.
something
But
like
that
that.
room about the city
Literally, they had this entire
room,
to
like exhibit.
scale like scaled model
Hmm.
of Seoul. And it
Hmm.
was an entire like massive
Room.
room. Not
Yeah.
like this room here. No, it was like
We'll post a video of it in our
we will.
stories.
It was this huge, and it was literally the entire area of
Hmm.
Seoul. And like when you went through the entire thing, it showed you like where it started, where it was like this tiny little
Hmm.
town and how it expanded and
Hmm.
expanded and expanded and then became this massive city
Yeah.
that it is today.
And
That was
it was
really
cool
cool.
because you were walking on it and it was lit up.
Yeah.
And we were like, Lotte World. Lotte World was underwhelming over. I'm not sure how to
No,
explain
Lotte
Lotte
World was
World.
underwhelming.
It
It
was
was
underwhelming.
underwhelming. Yeah.
I really thought it was more than it was.
I was expecting it to be more than it was, I think.
Yeah.
I
We had
had
fun.
this I had this idea in my mind and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Because
this
remember
is
we
not
originally said we were going to get dressed up in the uniforms and we were both like,
the school
no.
uniforms." Yeah, I was like, "Nope, I'm good. I'm good."
We
Uh,
did go on this like Egyptian ride and we were watching them come out of, remember when we went on the ride, the roller coaster?
oh my god, that roller coaster.
So we're watching it come out and it goes like sideways. And I'm like, I have a bad feeling that inside is worse. Inside was worse.
Oh my god. I think that was the
I think we
most
got
fun
whiplash.
place there. Like that was the most fun
Yes.
ride, but
Yes.
my god. Yeah,
Yes.
no,
It
that
whipped
was
you.
holy gee. I was not, and the crazy, oh, so my mom
And your mom was
is
gonna go on it. Your mom would have.
so
Oh
every
yeah,
ride,
your
so
mom's
it
would
literally, they
have
had tickets. They had a ticket price, and the ticket prices ended at 65 years of age. My mom is 66. She's like, "What the fuck? Do we just not do anything after 65?" Like she was really like upset by that. And so we're standing online for this ride and it said like no one over this age. Like no,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and my mom's like, what should whatever, should I do it, blah blah blah. And
And then
I
me
said,
and Terry found you guys.
yeah, and so she was like, "You know what? You take my place, I'll hang with Terry, and you guys go on the ride." Thank God my mom did not go on that ride
She would have died.
because no, yeah, she would have not
Uh,
that ride, no way. We got off it and I said, "Mom, be glad you didn't go on that ride. 100% be glad you did not go on that
because
ride."
you like go out and like you go in and all of a sudden it was like
Yeah. Like you only see like a bit of the
a
outside. You're
bit of
like,
it.
"Okay,
And the
this
bit of
doesn't look
it's scary.
crazy." But
Because
like,
usually in America, like the inside is boring and the
mhm.
outside is fun.
Yeah.
The inside was worse than the
The
outside in
inside
that
was
train.
insane. The inside was absolutely effing insane
And
on
we
that
were at
ride.
Lotte World with our
All about boys love. It was so fun. We spent like the whole day with them.
yes,
It was so
they
much
are
fun.
amazing. You guys should check them out. We love them.
Mhm.
Um, yes, that was hilarious.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
I was
It
like,
was
Sammy's gonna die.
I didn't die. I made it.
You didn't
I
die.
was I
But
was have
we could hear you guys
oh yeah.
screaming
No, it was the two of us.
behind us.
Oh god, we were screaming bloody murder.
Bloody murder.
Bloody murder. Even
Oh,
after the ride was over, we were
yes.
screaming because
I
we were
think that
just
was
like in
probably
shock.
my favorite part of Lotte World.
Yes,
The air
100%.
balloon was cool. I don't know why your mom did that.
Again, she does things and I'm like, "Mom,
She was
why do
like,
you do
she was
these things?"
like,
She hates heights and she puts herself in these situations where there's heights. Why do you do this to
That little
yourself,
girl
woman?
was cute though, that was
Yes.
waving us off.
Yes,
She
she
was
was
cute.
very cute.
She was cute. But yeah, Low Table was definitely underwhelming. I was
Yeah.
really expecting like something.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
because like, we're so used to like Disney World and,
Yeah,
Six
the
Flags and
bigger,
stuff.
yeah, we have like the bigger amusement parks here. But
I
we
also grew
also
up
have the
around Sesame.
space.
Yes, that's
We
true.
also have the space to do it. Like they're
I think the
working with
coolest part,
limited.
yeah, that's true. I mean, it was cool how it went from outside to inside. It was
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I kind of wish we went ice skating.
Yeah.
We didn't actually check out all of Lotte World because there were like
No.
two floors
There were
below
two,
us.
yeah, there were two floors below us, but
Yeah,
we were on a time crunch and we had all these other
yeah.
things to fit
We
in.
did the BTS ship thing.
Oh, you guys did. I did not do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
My motion sickness said, no,
No.
don't do that.
Uh,
We did,
uh.
then
Oh,
you
it
and
was cool.
go ahead.
Me and Terry did Gangnam and we did some BTS tours. She got to put the sugar rings
Rings
on.
on.
Um,
But you and her went to that like Humbug place while my mom and I went to the
oh,
design
yes,
plaza thing.
the plus Hamba.
Yeah.
She has really you know what's funny? As I swear to God, the owner and designer was sitting in front of me when we were on that ride.
No,
It was
I agree
definitely
with
her.
you. I think it was
Because it was
her.
her hair clips and it was her in her ham top.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And her mom, when me and Terry went there, her mom was manning the store and she said she was at Lipstick.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, I 100% think you're right
I
that
was
she
like, damn
was.
it,
Yeah, because she actually spoke to me and my mom because we were trying to
Terry!
figure out what line
Oh,
we were looking
really?
for a line, and we said, "Is this the line?" And she's like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
this is the line for something or other." And I
Oh,
was
you know
like,
what's
"Oh,
crazy is the fact she was sitting in front of us and we were talking to you, and Terry didn't even notice she was probably
oh,
in front of us.
that's
But yeah,
funny."
Terry bought some beautiful handbag pieces from there, and the
Mhm.
mom was so sweet. Terry was
Yeah.
just so happy to find those pieces that the mom just kept giving her. She was just like, oh, she was so great. And the
Yeah.
stuff was so beautiful. The silks, ugh,
Yeah.
my fashion heart was like in love.
Yeah. My mom and I when they did that, my mom and I we I wanted to go to this it was a design building
Oh, the
and
fashion building, right?
yeah, and so like it wasn't just fashion, it was like it was all different kinds of arts and stuff and like
Mm,
all these different places had different whatnots, but we ended up stumbling upon there was like a K-pop exhibit there. And so they had like costumes and
mm,
artwork and all this stuff of K-pop idols and it was specifically like mostly SM and stuff,
yeah.
but they had other idols and whatnot. It was just really cool and we took like pictures and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
Remember when we went to Soul Forest and we stumbled upon SM's merch store?
Oh yeah, like just in the bottom of the station cuz I said to you, I said I swear that just said SM, entertainment like
Yeah, 'cause
building or
yeah, 'cause
something.
I think we were under them.
Yeah. And then like we're walking back to catch the train and we see all these like there's just a ton of people in this like
Yeah,
shop and like they all have cameras out. I'm like, "What are they doing?" And so we looked and we realized it was a whole SM just
store.
merch store of
Yeah.
like album and that's another thing. Korea, if that store was in America, they had signed albums,
Oh, that stuff would be behind
they
glass.
had stuff like actual items that
And they
these
wore.
members wore
Yep,
just out. Like, I
yep,
could touch them. I could
yep.
grab them. I could walk out of that store with them.
I mean, you wouldn't get far without the
I mean, I
CCTV.
wouldn't get far, but the fact like that I think it's, like, the point of the CCTV, but also they just they're just that trustworthy.
Yeah,
Like, they don't think that
yeah,
people will just go in and grab whatever and walk out.
yeah,
Like, I was like, if the and that was another thing when we went to the June and June fan meet, no
yeah.
security checking bags. I was
No.
like, "What?
I mean,
You're
they
not gonna"
weren't even checking bags at Lotte World.
No, no, they didn't
No,
check
you
bags
can't even
and
bring a backpack in Six Flags.
yeah, yeah, like, these things we just had, "Nope, here you go. Go ahead, have
Yep,
fun, enjoy."
yep.
I was like, "Oh, no wonder," like, that was the other thing, I was like, "Oh, no wonder these girls can bring cameras. These
Yeah.
high touch, like, these girls get in
I
these
mean, this girl
massive
had it
cameras.
men's this
Oh my god."
bag.
I'm like, "Of course, they don't check bags here. You can bring in
No.
everything."
But
Like,
but they do if they tell you that you can't record, they watch you
oh,
like
they're
a
serious
hawk.
about that. Mhm. No,
Like,
they
I
were.
was watching them point people out while they
Yeah,
were taking shots and
yeah.
trying to record.
Mhm.
I was like,
If you just pulled out your
"Damn."
phone, like, if
Yes,
I would pull out my phone, like, I
to,
remember when I
like,
was
do
to do the
the
translating, and, like, they would walk past me, and I'm like,
yeah, to see what
I
you
was
were
like, "I
doing.
get it, because 'cause I'm not,"
We're
but I'm looking
American.
down,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't have it up like that, but,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the one thing that they were very serious about, was not
Yes.
taking pictures when
Not
you weren't
recording,
allowed
not
to.
taking photos when you were not allowed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was very true.
crazy.
That was,
What
yeah.
else did we do? Oh,
Well,
I will
you
say it's really cool,
hmm,
being in the city and then stumbling. Do you hear that?
no.
Oh, Mike's watching some horror movie, and I hear, like,
Oh,
a creepy phone ringing in the background.
oh, jeez.
Um, was being in Seoul and stumbling upon ancient, like, forests and,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
historical places, because 'cause
Mhm.
you're in the city, and then all of a sudden, you're in this tranquil garden, and you're like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yep. I mean, I think it was just like we stumbled upon so many random things. Like you would walk in somewhere, like, and I feel like it was mostly Lindsay and I when it would happen. Like we would walk in somewhere and we stumbled upon some, like we walked into Soul Forest and stumbled upon they were having like an activity
Oh,
week
yeah, like a whole health
where
fair.
like they were having this whole fair of like getting people active and getting people out and
Yeah,
motivated to like get
yeah,
healthy and stuff. And then we went into when we first went into Myeongdong.
yep.
It was me, you, and my mom.
Yeah, when we went to,
We went into
where
that K-pop store,
oh, yeah,
and we found a fan they were having a massive fan cafe for one of the kids is 17, and there was, like, this whole floor on the top floor that was this pretty open space with cafe tables and stuff, and they
yeah,
had pictures of the idol and
mhm,
whatnot, and then, like, that same day
and you signed the thing. You signed
I
the
signed the
birthday.
little thing, and then that same day, that morning, we wanted to go to this specific spot that was a BL spot location, and I thought it was just this random monument. We
That thing that we
stumble
went
in.
down.
Yeah, we stumbled in. It was a whole, like, palace like a replica palace. It had, like, you could dress in hanbok, you could do all these, like, you could make the moon cakes, you could make,
Your mom bought that really cool sculpture
you bought
thing.
this, like, cool, like, build it sculpture thing. They
Yeah.
had, make a paper lantern, they had archery, they had all, and we're like, "What the,"
Yeah.
we just thought there was this little thing, and, like, and then they had these, like, pretty little waterfalls, and it was, like, such a
Uh-huh.
tranquil little park, and we're like,
Yeah. It
"What?
was
This
not a
is,"
little park.
yeah, I say little, it was huge,
Massive.
and, like, it had this beautiful view of Namsan Tower, and you're just
Uh-huh.
like, "I was not expecting this
We met
at
a very
all."
sweet,
Oh, the
grandmother.
little Ajumma, oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah, she
when
was
she was
so
talking to us
cute.
when we were looking at that monument.
Yeah, she was like, "Where are you guys from?" "Oh, I have
Yeah,
family, blah, blah, blah." Oh
in
my god, she was
America,
so
yeah, she
cute,
was
yeah.
so cute.
She was such a cutie.
That was something good. We didn't meet anyone other than that taxi driver at the end who
Yeah.
was
Yeah, I don't think we had
not
any
issues.
bad
Mm-mm.
run-ins or anything. That was another thing I will say is I never felt unsafe.
No,
I was
I never felt
never
unsafe.
I was never concerned. I was never like if I were like the second I stepped foot in New York, my head's like a swivel.
Oh,
Like,
I look like I'm gonna murder someone. My husband says I have intense resting bitch face when I'm in New York City.
yeah. And
I'm
so
like,
like yeah. I never felt that way at
no,
all ever
nope.
when I was there. I my mom and I cuz my mom wanted to do the DMZ, which if you
Yes,
don't
and
know, it's the
Lindsay,
demilitarized zone. So it's the zone between North and South Korea.
yep.
And I had asked Lindsay and Terry, and I knew Lindsay was gonna say no, and for the same reason I knew she was gonna say no, she was like, "Knowing me, I'd somehow end up in North Korea." And I was like,
Or
"You,"
somehow in
yeah,
trouble.
exactly. So I was like, "You are correct." So it was just me and my mom, and it was weirdly sad. I mean,
Mm,
not weirdly, like, it is a very sad thing
mhm,
to begin with, like, that whole thing, but I think it hit my mom a little bit harder because
mhm.
um for those of you who don't know, my mom is from Cuba and fled Cuba and has never been able to go back, will never probably be able to go back.
Mhm.
And very similar to the people in South Korea who literally can never go back to their hometowns in North Korea, and they can't contact them, they can't, whatever. So my
Unless you're
mom,
the guy who wants Hyundai. That was an interesting piece of
that was a
information.
little interesting. Only one guy has ever gone to North Korea and come back. Um but yeah, so that was like, it was a very sad thing, and like seeing, you could see North Korea, you could see the horizon of North Korea and all of that. And then they had this thing called the interception tunnel number 3. Yeah,
Your
so they
mom.
have this thing called an inner it was called interception tunnel 3. So apparently North Korea has dug these tunnels underground to get into South Korea, and they believe that they had built like 20 some odd of these. They've only found a couple of them, and this was one of them. And basically what it was when they figured out that they were doing this, they intercepted them. And so
Mm.
you could walk down this tunnel thing into the smaller tunnel. And at first, we started walking it, and they literally were warning us that if you cannot make it out, it will cost you $5,000 to get the EMS or whatever to come and bring you up. Like, that's how intense it was. And we were like, so we're like, do we want to do this? So we start walking down it. And I'm like, okay, this isn't bad, because she kept making it sound like it was like tight. And I was like, "You could
Mhm.
fit 5 people across, no problem, it wasn't, like, bad." But then it started to get narrower as you got further down, and then I looked up and I went, "Mom, we have to go back up." And she looked back up, she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm good." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we turned around, like, halfway down. I was like, "Okay, I'm good." We could say we did at least some of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was terrifying. Did not
Terrifying.
like that. And then you weren't allowed to bring anything in there. Like, you couldn't bring, like, literally all you were allowed was if you had a watch on your wrist. That was it. You couldn't bring a phone, you couldn't bring a bag, nothing. The DMZ, like, getting into the DMZ, like, all of it was very strict. You had a certain time frame that you could be in there. So, like, once you drove in, you had about, like, an hour and 30 minutes or something like that to be in the DMZ before you had to come back out.
Mhm.
When you got to the entrance of the DMZ, 2 Korean military came onto the bus. Um, we had to have our passports out. She had our list of names, and they would come over and say, "Which one are you?" And you had to point and then show your passport. They would cross your name off, and they did this when you went in and when you came back out.
Mhm.
So that was intense. That was kind of creepy and scary, but also very cool to witness. So
Mhm.
that was a very cool part of the trip that I'm glad my mom and I got to do that whole
You know
thing.
what freaked me out was when we got to Korea and immigration and they made us do our fingerprints and our face picture.
Mm,
It
yeah.
freaked me out. I think it freaked me out for the whole trip. And then
I
when you
don't know why.
leave, you got your picture taken and you had to use your
Your
fingerprint
fingerprint to let you go
to
through.
leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know
And
why. I think my anxiety was just like, I guess because
well,
I've never tried. My second time
yeah.
traveling ever. And it
Second
was,
time traveling, and that was very intense entry. Like,
yes.
that was, I agree I was like, I'd never seen
Yeah.
anything like that either.
Yeah.
And then, like, what I thought was
And my
bizarre,
passport picture is not good.
oh my god, yeah, her passport picture is quite,
I
it was
really thought they
it
were
was
gonna
our
think I was
laughing, it was our, if we ever were in a bad mood, we just looked at her picture and it brought us joy.
I
Um,
looked like
she looks like
somebody
she's
that
ready to murder somebody, or she
I look
already
like I got
murdered
caught murder.
somebody. Yeah,
It looks like it's a really bad mugshot.
yeah,
And it's me not trying to smile, and I'm like this, and I look tired. It's bad.
yeah.
It's
No,
so
it was a great photo.
bad.
But you know what I thought was what I thought was interesting, not crazy. It was
Mhm.
interesting was they didn't stamp your passport, they put a sticker with,
Mhm.
like, a QR code. I
Mhm.
was like, and my dad's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I showed him my passport. He's
Yeah.
like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I was like, "I've never seen that before." But yeah,
It was
they just, like, took a sticker,
crazy.
put it on your
Yeah.
passport. But yeah, that trip was
It was
at
great. It was
it
it
was
was anxiety, but it was good.
yeah.
It taught us lessons.
Oh, yeah. I learned a lot of things that trip,
I
that's for
learned a
sure.
lot of things.
I
Yes.
learned a lot of things that trip. But
Yes.
one thing that I think we all agreed on was Hongdae is not our space. Where that was where we were all crowded in that little
Oh,
where all of us were
oh my
like,
god.
"Nope, I'm out."
I'm an extrovert and I wanted to cry.
I did not like it.
I did not like I don't
I
remember I didn't remember I totally, like, put that away.
I don't my thing is
Busy, but
I
that
like
was, like, you couldn't
busy,
even
but
move.
that was uncomfortably crowded. And I
I
just
think
like
honestly, I think that was the only time I was afraid, and I was afraid of losing you
yeah.
'cause I didn't know how the fuck I was gonna find
And
you
then I was
guys.
holding on to Lindsay.
But
Like I was
you
holding on to
grabbed
her
me
but I was
so hard.
panicking because I was like pulling back because I was looking back to see where my
Yeah.
mom and Terry were. And finally Lindsay just goes, "Sam, you need to let go of my
You were
backpack." And I
joking.
went, "Okay." And I just dropped it. And I'm like, "Oh my god, she's so pissed at me." And I was
I
like,
wasn't
"Okay." Like
pissed.
I
I
was
was
like,
just
"Oh
like
my god." But I'm like trying to keep on to her and like
I
keep
think
I'm
because
just like,
I was
"Ah."
panicking, you were panicking,
Yes,
and
all
you
of
just, like,
us.
holding me back was just
Yeah,
like yeah,
I
that
know.
was Hung Day was not fun.
Hongdae was not our scene.
No.
I think
We did the chicken and beer, and they brought you guys beer in Pyrex glass.
yes, the Pyrex glasses. That was fun. I did enjoy that, but you know what? That's another the little tteokbokki place that I had randomly
Oh,
found. That was so cute. So our
I'm so
last
happy
night,
we went there for our last night.
yeah, so our last
The
night
daughter and the parents were so cute.
so it was the last night in our Airbnb before we went to
Yep.
like the Paradise Hotel. And I had randomly stumbled upon this place. I
Mhm.
saw it one day and I like looked it up on like Cacao or something, and it had good
Mhm.
ratings. It was like very we
Ugh,
walked in, this place was
it was the
packed.
best chicken I've ever had.
She comes up and she goes, "Do you speak Korean?" And I said, "A little." And she's like, "All right." And then just goes into full on like explaining everything and I'm just like, "Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You're like, "I have no
Uh-huh."
clue what you
She
just said."
walks away and everyone just looks at me and I went, "So this is the menu?" What do you want? Like, that was it. I was like, I can't explain
I remember
anything.
remember Terry was like, "We need to turn it down, we need to turn it down," and then she did,
Yeah.
and the woman came over and she smacked our hand, and she
Oh my god, yeah. She's like, "Don't touch this." Um, but so then, like, at one point, we picked what we wanted, and then she
Yeah.
asked me a question, and, like, my eyes just went, "I have no clue what you just asked." And she just went, "Don't worry about it," and, like, walked away and went to, like, do whatever. And, and then she so then it was her, her mother, and I don't know if it was her brother
Or her
or
husband,
her
I can't remember what
husband, I
she
can't
said. She
remember.
said something.
Yeah, I can't remember. So, they bring out we had tteokbokki, but it was white tteokbokki, so it wasn't like that super hot red sauce, it was this, like, kind of sweet, hot
That
white sauce. It wasn't super spicy, but then they
yeah.
brought out it was duck
I don't know,
something.
but that second thing was spicy, whatever with the chicken.
It was a chicken stew. I can't remember
Oh,
exactly the name, but it was a chicken stew.
so good though.
It was so good. That was the best chicken I've ever eaten, and it's
Same.
chicken.
It, like, fell apart. It
It
was
was
juicy.
moist, it
Oh,
was oh my
ha
god,
you
it
said me.
was I said moist. It was so effing good, but it was also
Uh,
effing spicy, right?
oh, yeah.
So
Remember we
the
asked for rice and she goes, "We have no more."
yeah, she's like, "We only have 3," and I'm like, "That's fine," and then she's like, "I'll give you,
Noodles, and
ramen." She's like,
she
"Ramen."
put them in the spicy.
Yes, she was like, "Ramen service," which means, like, free, basically, service, and so she throws the ramen in there, we're just like, like, so spicy, and then the little like, her mother comes out to ask us what we think, and I say to
That's
her like,
her.
all of us are, like, sweating, and I'm like, "I'm good with hot," but even I was like, "This is hot," and I went, "Omcho mewa," and I was like which just means, like, "It's very hot," and she literally says in Korean, "This is not that hot. This is, like, our mild flavor," and I just went, "God damn."
American.
I was like, "Okay," and then yeah, I think that's what I said. I was like, "Migook Sada." Like and she's like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
Remember we were watching them cook and the mom was like,
No, remember where she caught the paper on fire? I have video of that. She literally was like cooking something, and I don't know how, but she caught this paper on fire and she goes to like throw it out. And of course, this is the only thing I have video of in this entire restaurant is this poor woman catching paper on fire. And I'm like, and she sees me recording, and I like instantly like stop recording, and she starts laughing. Her daughter starts laughing. She goes, "That's my mom." This is great. That was such a fun experience. That was so
And
funny.
shockingly enough, how spicy that food was, I think that was the only thing that didn't fuck my stomach up.
No, it didn't F me up at
It
all.
did not F me up.
No, the pork was
See,
the
the
death
pork
of
didn't
me.
hurt me. Something we ate the next day hurt me.
That pork was the death
Um,
of me.
we definitely should have had 2 bathrooms. We got lucky
Yeah.
that we all were sick at different intervals.
Times, and it wasn't sick. Like, it was just we all have
It was
stomach issues.
travelers'
We all
stomach
have
issue.
stomach issues, and, we all luckily were not having the stomach issues at the same time. Because otherwise we would've ended up like Bridesmaids, where one of us is sitting on the sink going, "It's coming out of me like lava." Like,
Yeah, we somehow
"Don't
got
look
very
at
lucky
me."
that we were all in intervals of
No,
sickness.
it was. It was true because, like, it was like you and Terry would get
Yeah,
sick
or,
off
like,
of
during the
something,
night.
and then my mom and I. It was like we
'Cause
were
Terry and I
always
were fine on the pork, and you and
Mhm.
your mom got sick on the pork,
Oh my
and then
god.
the next night, you guys were fine and we were sick.
Yeah, what did we was that the chicken? No, I don't
No, the
think that
chicken
was the
was the
chicken night.
first night. The chicken night did not fuck me up at all, 'cause that's the
No,
night
no,
we
no,
went to the
not the
brig.
kimbap. The chicken, the fried chicken when we went to
Oh,
the
I think it was the
it
fried
might have been,
chicken.
yeah.
I mean, I just drank water, I didn't have beer, but I think it
That
might have
was
been
another
that.
thing. I did not drink enough water while we were there
Oh, that's why I had my
at
water
all.
bottle.
I was so dehydrated. I
Yeah.
When we would go anywhere, I would be chugging water when we
Remember
sat
I give
down.
you my water? I'm like,
Yeah, I was just chugging water, and I'm like, "Holy crap, am I dehydrated?"
Yeah.
Um, and
We
we had
definitely gotta
water.
make sure.
Yeah, well, we had water. The thing was, I was stupid. I should have packed
Mm,
a traveler, like, water bottle because we
yeah.
bought the big waters, but
Yes.
we left them in the room.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "We're out," and I'm just, like, not
Yeah.
drinking. So
Yeah.
definitely that's another thing, guys. Bring a water bottle,
Yes.
and then
Bring a
bring,
water bottle.
get their water. But, yeah, it was an amazing trip.
It was.
I
It was
can't
a
wait
great
to go
trip.
again.
Same.
Hopefully next time we go, we can actually interview actors.
Yes.
That would be
We're gonna
very
hopefully
cool.
get ourselves up. Although
Yeah,
in between
moving
us
on
going
up.
again, I really wanna do Thailand first.
I agree, I wanna do Thailand. I
Would you rather go to Seoul again before Thailand?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so. No, I would want it. My thing is I gotta look up Thailand. I mean, Thailand's always hot, so that's one
yes.
thing. That's definitely
Yes.
a I need to be hydrated.
Yes.
Yeah,
When
no,
is
I
the
definitely
less hot?
probably in the winter,
I don't know. Let me
so
see. How
like
cold is it
July,
in Bangkok?
February.
But then, like, we watch Thai BLs and they're, like, in coats. I'm like,
Yeah, but
"How?"
it was funny because who was it? Perth was talking about that in one of his
Yeah.
like things, and he said like he's like, yeah, no, all of them are sweating balls under that stuff, but
Ugh.
it's like he's like, if we were to wear what we wanted to wear, it's not aesthetic, it's not cute, it's not whatever. So they put them
Yeah.
in these insane sweaters and like all that just to make it look stylish. He's like, but no one actually wears that. He's like,
Wait,
you're
wait, wait.
dying under
Ready?
it. Oh God.
It can get cold in Thailand in December. Temperature can drop to 15 degrees Celsius, which is a low 60s in Fahrenheit. That's my favorite time.
Yeah, that's the best time. All
So
right,
maybe we
so
should go to Thailand in December.
December,
And
December.
it'll be decked out for Christmas.
That's true. That is true. All right, so
Because
December, Thailand.
for Thailand.
Yep.
Because I'll take
Yeah.
60s. Or like
Yeah,
it
I'll
says
take
like 20
60s. Hell
degrees
yeah.
Celsius is like the normal temperature
That's like
between January
70s,
and
I think.
December. Yeah.
I think that's the
Give
70s.
me that. I'd rather that before than 80s and
Yeah, then the
90s in the
80s and 90s. Hard pass on
they're like,
that.
it gets very cold. And I'm like, 60s. That's
Yeah.
temperate.
Yeah. Talk to me when you're going to
80
Korea in
degrees out
fucking
right now.
December. Yeah, Korea in December, I think it's like in the negatives right now. It's so
Yeah.
fucking cold. So,
That's why I couldn't believe how cold people were in the 60s. I was
yeah.
like, I'm so
Yeah.
confused. You guys are colder than us sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Crazy.
I want to go to Phuket so bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I do want to swim in that water. It looks very
Yeah.
pretty.
Stay in. My Race's niece was just there. Cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
I do want
She
to
said it
go.
was beautiful.
Yeah. It's on the
How
list.
about,
It's on our
speaking
list.
of BL, how about what's up with Tool and Mew all of a sudden being everywhere?
I said
Considering
that.
considering Tool left the industry.
Yeah, I don't get, yeah, I don't understand. I guess maybe because
I mean Mew still hasn't introduced his fiance.
you know what I think? I almost want to say it's like, well, I don't know, because like Mew went to
I mean, they're best
be
friends. They
Tool
are.
in Colombia. I'm almost wondering if
Yeah.
he's like gonna follow that same route and go out to school, come
Oh,
out to
you think
school
Mew's gonna
here.
go?
Yeah.
Mm,
And maybe like
maybe.
they're, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, they are besties. They've been besties forever.
Yeah. They have. They have.
Although him and Max just did something together, and I really want to know what it was because he got his makeup done. So I'm like,
Yeah, I
did they do
remember
a
that.
photo shoot?
I
I sent
remember you
that to you.
saying
I was like,
you did.
pay for
And
a
you were
speeding
telling,
ticket.
yeah, because I think that we were talking about it in the last episode that
Yes,
they did
scene
something and we're
together.
like, what, why, Tool, you said you retired.
I know you're retired. What
Yeah, what's happening? Now you're doing things? You haven't done stuff and all of a
is
sudden you announce your retirement and you do photo shoots. Okay. All
There's a
right.
magazine spread.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Chong Sup, Lindsay just said to me that he posted on his
He's doing
story.
something.
He's getting something ready, but then the kid who took the picture was from Why Are You? He's one of the actors of Why Are You? And I'm like,
What's going on?
what's happening? What's
What's
happening?
going on?
So
What's happening in the BL world?
I know.
But yes, guys, it was a wonderful trip. Tips, definitely check Airbnb versus hotels.
Honestly, I would choose hotels.
I would
I'm
choose
gonna stick
hotels.
by that. I would
Yes.
just choose hotels.
Yeah.
Airbnbs, uh, no. I would choose. I would
You,
just choose a
I would
hotel.
say stay to 2 to 3 weeks because if you have a lot to do, you are not getting it all done.
Nope, definitely not in a week.
Um,
We were only there for like a little over a week,
a
and I
week and a
feel
half.
like
We did like not
we
all,
did a lot, but
but we
we
were
definitely,
exhausted.
yeah, we were exhausted because we were like nonstop.
Yes.
So give yourself time to go and see everything.
Stop trying to
Um,
eat my trash can.
pack water or pack a
Pack
bottle
water,
for water.
pack water, pack Imodium
Um, yes.
if you have stomach issues.
Use their apps like Cacao Map. I think
Oh,
it's Cacao
if you
Taxi.
have Cacao Map, make sure you learn the alphabet. When we did not have Sammy, we were screwed because nothing was
You
in
could use
English.
Naver. Naver does
Naver wasn't giving me
English.
English.
Naver wasn't giving
It
you English?
no, I did it wrong then. But like
Yeah,
all the
Naver usually,
stops were in Korean. Like
yeah,
not could not they were like in English in the subway, but not in the app.
yeah. And then Cacao Taxi was a big savior for us.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially if like you couldn't wait for the sub. I mean, and the subways are always on time. Like we
the
didn't have an
subways
issue.
were, yeah, no, the
We're not
subways
the
were
subways.
great.
Crowded as
Um,
hell sometimes.
yeah, but you know
When
what?
we
That was
left
another
7
thing. We
a.m., there was
really,
nobody in there.
yeah, we really didn't hit many crazy crowded.
We did at like 4 or 5 p.m. That's
Yeah,
when like
like
everybody was coming home.
nothing insane where like I've seen videos of people where they literally have to like
We were
back
pushing.
themselves in.
Yeah, we were not like that.
We never had
We had space to like we were never felt like we were crowded, like even
correct.
standing.
Yeah, yeah. Um the T Money
Wear comfortable
card.
shoes.
Yes, wear comfortable shoes. Don't
T
dress
money card.
fashionably, okay? I mean, you
You
can pack
can,
a
but
pair of
comfy
shoes. You can pack a pair of like nice little shoes to like
for
change
your
into to
Instagram
take
shots.
pictures, but just wear sneakers, my guys. Like it's
Yeah.
not worth it.
T money card, definitely.
The T Money card is great because you can pay in a lot of the cabs with it
Yes.
as well
And the
as the
subway.
subway. So that was really
Um,
nice. You can even pay in some convenience stores with the
yes,
T
we
Money
did see
card.
that.
So that was really cool. Um,
Use your credit card and make sure you have free exchange on it. That saved
Yeah,
me a lot
certain
of money.
cards. Yeah, certain cards
My
do the
my
free
TD
exchange.
card had free international exchange, so I used that. We did not get our taxes back because we didn't realize that you had to show
Oh
your
yeah.
passport.
So yeah, that's a
I was not carrying my passport
I
around
didn't
because
feel
I
comfortable carrying my
no.
passport around either, but basically if you do feel comfortable carrying your passport around, if you go into certain stores, they'll ask you if you want like tax exemption or something like that. You have to show them your passport and they give you a special receipt.
That you
And
have to
that
then bring at the airport
then that
to get your
special
money.
receipt has to then go to the airport and that's when they give you the money. So any like I literally still have all my receipts because I need them for my taxes and literally none of these receipts we could
Mhm,
get money back on
mhm,
at
'cause we
all
didn't have a
because we
passport.
didn't bring our
But the
passports.
guy Olive Young said if we brought our passport with the receipt, they could do it, but they
Yeah,
said no.
no. So I
So,
have all of these. I have to like this is going to be such a pain in the ass to like put into a tax form, which you can't not everybody can write off trips, but if you're doing it for business, I considered this a business trip because I write books that are based in Korea.
mhm.
I can write them off. So I'm able to write off a lot of the trip, which is nice. Um
Mhm.
But, yeah, what else? What other whatever tips and tricks? Um, I don't know,
Don't
have fun.
completely plan your time because things will go
Yeah,
wrong and you get anxiety attacks when they go wrong. Sammy planned everything out to a T, and then when things were going wrong, I thought you were gonna have a mental breakdown.
the
Especially
only
the
t
botanical garden.
no, the botanical garden pissed me off.
I thought you were gonna have
I
a
was pissed about that because, like, I was like, I had planned that to, like because of the time and
yeah,
whatnot.
because of when we were gonna meet
Yeah,
at
because we
Lotte
were gonna
World,
meet at Lotte World, and I was pissed, and I was like but luckily, I had found that there was the digital media center nearby,
which
so
was very underwhelming as well.
it was underwhelming, but, because, like, we couldn't stay, I think if we were
Yeah,
able to stay again, give yourselves, like, 2 weeks at minimum,
yeah. Like,
because
especially if you wanna go to Digital Media City to see, you're gonna be sitting outside
yeah,
all
because 'cause you're gonna be
day.
camping out, like, the whole day
Yeah.
to see these idols come in, leave, do whatever they're gonna
Even
do.
to get into Music Core, people said that they were
Exactly.
there, like, 5 hours
Oh,
before
yeah,
they
no,
were
it was
even allowed
insane.
in.
So it was like, we couldn't really experience that whole thing. We
Mhm.
did see one actor. He's a Korean American actor.
Oh, yeah, he was outside of
He was
Music
outside,
Festival.
like, talking to somebody, and I look at him and I'm like, "I know this dude." And I'm like, our eyes met, and then he, like, tried to avoid me, and I was just kinda like,
All of us. He kept trying to
no,
turn
he
his head
kept,
from
like and I was
us.
like, "Dude, I'm just, like, trying to figure it out." And then I finally figured out who it was. I think it
Yeah,
was it Justin Choi, I
I
wanna
think so.
say? Um
But yeah, I mean, we didn't go up to him or anything.
No,
We
we
left
didn't
him
go he was
alone,
on
but
the
we were all
phone, I
like, "Who
wasn't
the
about
heck
to be
is
like,
that?"
"Hey, I know you're on the phone, but can I talk to you?"
When
No.
he noticed, I think, that we were American, he kind of was like, "Shit."
Yeah. Okay, no, it's not Justin Choi.
I mean, other than Jen and John, he was the only person we saw.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
There was that oh, no. Where oh, no, when Terry and I were there, some girl was getting her photos taken in Seoul Forest. She looked like a model. She was, like, 6 foot.
oh, okay. Oh, Justin Chon.
Gotcha.
Justin Chon. Yeah. So, yeah, that we saw him. That was about our
We
only,
saw
like,
him.
celebrity sighting of that trip. Um, but yeah, it was an amazing trip. It was also I will say it was probably one of my cheapest. Like,
I've only been in Germany, that was cool.
when it came to, like, accommodations, transportation, food,
Mhm.
all of
I mean,
that.
food was cheap.
I mean, food was cheap,
The
like I said, minus that steak place.
most expensive thing we bought there was toilet paper.
Yeah, no,
Toilet paper was the most expensive thing we bought
toilet
there.
paper was expensive.
That was
Alcohol was
like
cheaper than fucking toilet paper, dude. Um, but yeah, like, everything and also this is in I'm saying this as somebody who lives in the Northeast
Mhm,
America, where New York
mhm,
City and Philadelphia are like cities I'm
mhm,
comparing it to. So
mhm,
like these overinflated cities,
mhm.
Korea is cheap in comparison. It's
Yes.
and you get more bang for your buck. I will
Yeah.
100% say that on everything that we did.
Mhm.
You spent like when we paid for
I think the
that.
most actually expensive thing we paid for was Paradise City.
But even if you think about it, we got so many amenities
That's
included
true.
that
That's
I was
true.
like, there's no way we would pay this same price
Yeah,
in the
that's true.
US for this, even if it was one night. So like it
If
was
it
an
was like the
expensive,
plaza.
yeah, it was an expensive singular night. I will not say it wasn't
Right.
inexpensive, but we were like,
But you're right, for,
we're
like, the spa and
splurging.
everything we
It's
did.
but
Yeah.
we basically had two bedrooms,
Yeah.
two massive bathrooms, a
3
half bath,
bathrooms.
a
Yeah.
living room,
Yeah.
which massive space first and foremost. Then we
Yeah.
got free access to the big spa, free
Mhm.
access to the what was it,
Wonderbook?
Wonderland, Wonderbook or
Wonderbook.
some, yeah, like this
Which we
indoor
didn't
amusement
realize
park.
how
It was very childish.
childish
Yeah,
it was.
that was our mistake. My mistake mostly.
It was still fun.
It
We
was
we had free
fun.
tickets in there.
Um, it they gave you a $300 credit, which
Mhm.
we couldn't figure out, but we were able to use a lot of it. Like we did figure out finally how to use the
Yeah.
credit. Like they gave you so much back that
Mhm.
you really didn't
And the
pay.
chocolates and the
They
wine.
gave us free
The mini
chocolate, a
fridge
free bottle
was
of wine.
the mini fridge was free for
The
the first
mini
night.
fridge was free for the first night, so all
Mhm.
drinks and snacks that were in
We
this
were
mini fridge were free. We all grabbed everything.
You
We
guys
were
got the you
chug
guys took those baths and those
Oh my
tubs.
god, the tubs, like, I mean, it was
Mhm.
100%.
It's
If
true.
if you were gonna pay for that here,
Yeah,
you're looking upwards of 2 grand, if not 3,
it's
for a
true.
singular
That's true.
night.
For a singular
So,
night, it's true.
even though it was expensive
Yeah.
for
I think
what we
for
got,
there, I think it was the most expensive
yes.
thing.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That was the most expensive thing that we
Yeah.
did. But, other than that, like, everything was so reasonable that I think that was the thing, I was never worried that I was gonna
Yeah, run out of money.
run out of money or go over my
Mhm.
budget.
Yeah,
In fact,
I
I ended
have
up
money.
I ended up coming home and finding like 100 something, like what was it, like 100,000 won? Just like I was like, oh shit. I hid it somewhere so well. I didn't even find it till I
Yeah,
got
you had
home.
money hidden all over the
I
place.
did. I did. I put
You really did.
because I was like, God forbid somebody steals it from one pocket.
Yeah,
They're not gonna get it from this pocket.
yeah.
I had a whole plan and then I forgot about it myself. So it worked out. But yeah,
I
if you
think I
guys
dropped the
are
most money in Busan at the temple buying all the crystals.
Oh yeah, I think yeah, you and that other crystal shop that we went to.
Yeah, yeah,
I think I spent my most in Daiso. And that wasn't even a lot. Like I had that massive bag from Daiso of snacks,
yeah.
stationery. Like I like if that was in the US, that would have easily been over $200 worth of
Mm,
stuff. And I think I maybe spent 80 US
mhm.
dollars. Insane.
Crazy.
Insane. So like like that's one thing. I mean, there's a lot of things that I loved about Korea, but that was one thing I was very like happy that I didn't have to worry
Mhm.
about my budget as much
Yep.
because I had put so much aside thinking it was going
Mhm.
to be this insane like city, and it
Mhm.
ended up being such a reasonable, and everything you could do, like there was ways to get things for free. Like you dressed up in the hanbok, you didn't have to pay to get into the palace.
Right.
If you
Which
did
was fun.
this, yeah, if you did this, you didn't have to do that. If you did like,
Mhm.
it was these things that like, you got into places and did all these
Mhm.
things for free. So, yeah, I very much if you're thinking about going to Korea, I 100% recommend, but yeah,
South
2
Korea.
weeks for sure minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum 2
Minimum.
weeks. Because
Especially if you have things to do.
I feel like the first couple of days I was still just trying to get over the jet lag.
The jet lag didn't bother me. It was when I came home, I was jet lagged for like
Oh
2
god,
weeks.
no, the jet lag
It
killed me when
was
I was there.
my
I was so
anxiety,
tired.
my jet lag, and my stomach were still messed up for a good week and a half.
Wow, that's crazy. No,
Yeah.
I when I got home, I was a little tired, like the jet lag did, but I think I was worse when I was in
Mm.
Korea. My body was just
But you
not.
also got your period TMI, but I
I
think that
did,
fucked you up
yeah.
too.
The lady stuffs. That did not
Yeah.
help. You're right. But
1 out of 10 out of 10, go back.
Yeah.
I'm doing this
100% go back.
differently, but go back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But yeah,
It
so
was a good trip.
that was a great trip. If you guys have
Mhm.
been, let us know what you guys did, what you guys saw, and if we are planning to go back, tell us where we should go. If we should
BL
go to
spots we should
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Tell us
different
tell us where we should go to see some BL actors
yeah,
in the wild.
in the wild. I feel
In
like
the
that's
wild.
like so hard to pick,
I don't know.
but
I reverse manifested Jen and Jen, so maybe I'll reverse
I know.
manifest us
That's
meeting
true.
some
That's
BL
true. You're right. Let Lindsay do
again.
it.
My
There's the
shirt.
shirt. There's the shirt. Ugh. All
Yeah,
right,
guys.
guys. Well, thank you, and we'll see
This is
you
the
in the
longest
next.
episode ever.
I know it is. It probably is. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.